What's up, everyone? Welcome to the September 23rd edition of DraftKings Tournament Plays presented by PrizePicks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, be sure to click the link below to claim up to a $100 first match deposit bonus with PrizePicks. We have a 12-game MLB slate tonight. And as usual, we're going to take a look at 3 of the top tournament stacks and 3 of the top tournament pitchers using the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool on the Stokastic.com website. Starting with the top stacks, number 3, the San Francisco Giants are taking on Tommy Henry tonight in Arizona. Henry has not been very good since coming to the major leagues, striking out just 15.5% of hitters with a 5.24 xFIP. The Giants' active roster has a 106 WRC plus and 160 ISO. You do deal with some pinch hit risk with them going up against a lefty, but they're very inexpensive. And as long as you can pay attention to which hitters you're getting into your lineup or are just at least aware of the pinch hit risk, they are projected for 5% ownership with a 5% chance of being the top scoring stack and a 7% chance of being the top value stack. So they do look like a good stack, all things considered. Number 2, the Seattle Mariners taking on Brady Singer tonight in Kansas City. Tough park to hit in and a tough matchup against Singer, who has struck out 24% of hitters with a 3.3 xFIP this year. But Seattle is projected for 5% ownership with a 6% chance of being the top scoring stack. They have a 104 WRC plus and 153 ISO on their active roster so far this season. And number 1, the New York Mets taking on Cole Irvin tonight in Oakland. The Mets are projected for just 1% ownership with a 6% chance of being the top scoring stack and a 2% chance of being the top value stack. Cole Irvin has only struck out 17% of hitters with a 4.34 xFIP so far this season. He has struggled with right-handed power in particular, and there should be plenty of that in the Mets lineup. They have a 117 WRC plus and 160 ISO on their active roster this season. Now, before we take a look at the top 3 tournament pitchers, we do have a new promo code for viewers of these videos. That promo code is AdamMLB. You can see it written at the top of the screen. Use it and get 50% off Stokastic Plus weekly. This offer is available for new users only, but if you haven't already signed up for Stokastic Plus, take advantage. You'll get access to behind the paywall data, including the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool that I reference in these videos. So again, that's promo code AdamMLB. Use it and get 50% off Stokastic Plus weekly. Now, taking a look at the top 3 tournament pitchers. Number 3, Chris Bassett, taking on his former team in Oakland. He's projected for 18% ownership with a 10% chance of being a top 2 scoring pitcher. Bassett is $9,500. He struck out 23.3% of hitters with a 3.6 xFIP so far this season and gets an excellent matchup against the A's, who have an 89 WRC plus and 23.1% strikeout percentage on their active roster. Aaron Nola is pulling most of the ownership in this price range, making Bassett a solid pivot in tournaments. Number 2, Xiaomi Otani taking on the Minnesota Twins tonight in Minnesota. There are weather concerns in this game. It's supposed to be cold and rainy. Assuming that the rain cooperates and it's just cold, then I expect the game to play. If it does, Otani's only projected for 14% ownership with an 18% chance of being a top 2 scoring pitcher. He's $10,800, so he's a little bit more expensive than Garrett Cole, who is pulling most of the ownership in this price range. But Otani has a 33.1% strikeout percentage and 2.64 xFIP this season. He is arguably the best pitcher on the slate in terms of talent. It's not a great matchup against the Twins, who only have a 20.6% strikeout percentage on their active roster to go along with a 108 WRC plus. But again, Otani is one of the most talented pitchers on the slate, and he's only projected for 14% ownership. And number 1, Carlos Rodon taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks in Arizona. Rodon is projected for 23% ownership with a 19% chance of being a top 2 scoring pitcher. He has not pitched in about 10 days because of a blister and a cracked fingernail. He is expected to go tonight, and unless we see otherwise, I'm not expecting him to be limited. He wasn't sidelined for that long. It wasn't an actual injury, an injury at least that they're worried about him re-aggravating. As long as a blister doesn't pop back up, he should be fine. He's $10,300. He has struck out 32.8% of hitters with a 2.95 xFIP this season. He's taking on a Diamondbacks team that has a 95 WRC plus and 21.4% strikeout percentage on their active roster. And like I said, when we were talking about Otani, Garrett Cole is dominating the ownership in this price range, making Rodon look like a pretty solid pivot. So to recap, the top 3 tournament stacks: number 3, the San Francisco Giants; number 2, the Seattle Mariners; number 1, the New York Mets. And the top 3 tournament pitchers: number 3, Chris Bassett; number 2, Shohei Otani; and number 1, Carlos Rodon.